It's been quite a melancholy day. We've been thinking about the meditation museums, and it's now in its 10th month that it's been closed. And coming up on March 16th, it'll be a whole year. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, we would love to do something special to celebrate the year of the meditation museums. I don't want to say closure, but also a year of us being online together and doing what we're doing. So I'll show you a beautiful video that walks us through the museum. Just for those of you perhaps who have never even been to the museum, we'd like to invite you into our space and see how you feel. It's, today's discussion is about learn to relax, and people from all around the city and the world would come to the meditation museum just to sit in the quiet room, maybe to participate in the myriad of sessions or classes that we hosted. And everything we did was for free. And every volunteer that opened the door, answered the phone, kept the place in order, organized the programs, did the tech work, whatever, did the tours, everyone did it from their hearts. They say that sometimes to get the best out of people, it's not that you could ever pay them, but it's sometimes just letting them know how much they're appreciated that matters the most. And today, Santosh told me that we have now reached our 99th episode of Next to Normal. Remember spiritual vaccine? We started with that first, and then we're evolving. So who knows what will be the evolving from the Next to Normal. But today marks the 99th show. So could we please give a big, big hand of applause to the team, especially to Brother Santosh, who has had to do all the incredible technical work behind the scenes to keep everything going. And I'll have to tell you this, and I hope I'm not burning my bridges, or let me just knock on wood. But so far, he has showed up fully with his heart. I mean, despite whatever it is, and in doing live programming, stuff always happens. Remember when we were doing majority of spiritual vaccines, because we were upstairs, Sister Gita would be like looking through the camera, who is that? She'd be having her hair like Don King, looking like different scenes, and she would sometimes just want to dance in front of the camera. I don't know how many of you were there from the beginning, but those were some of the magical moments of the beginning of our filming. But it's been 99 shows of the Next Normal. I don't know how much for the spiritual vaccine. 140 spiritual vaccines. So that means almost altogether for 10 months, we've done 240 shows. And Santosh was saying that's not including the Zoom sessions, the Zoom meetings, the behind the scenes programs that we do in the daytime. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Ivy Hilton, who has brought me on board to do a lot of her reconciliation work with victims who've been traumatized. So for the past few months, we've been doing a lot of those programs with individuals who are really trying to recover from trauma, but also the programs with returning citizens who've been incarcerated for a very long time. That's also been a very, very rich experience that we've been also doing online. So many things behind the scenes, everyone. It's been a little bit not as full, I would say maybe the last month, maybe it's the holiday time. The December to January month has just been a little bit less of these activities. It's just so much going on, but I really want everyone to give their blessings to the whole team, Santosh, Antonia, folks who are supporting, Naveen, Aditi, Brother David, who posts everything on the web to make sure it goes out in the mail if anyone's interested in wanting to read or know anything about it. So it's been a nice journey, and I don't know, I just feel quite moved by the whole experience. So I want to take you on a journey in the meditation museums. For those who have been there, you know what it's like. For those who have always wanted to go there, well, hopefully when everything opens up and the vaccines are out and the virus has disappeared, we'll be able to see you face to face. So let's take a journey in the meditation museums, starting with the one in Silver Spring, Maryland, and then we'll go to the one in Tysons Corner, Virginia. Ready? So when you're driving on the busy Georgia Road streets, this is what you see, the big street sign in a building. And as you walk in the door, I can't get to show you all the awards that we've gotten and prizes, but those are also at the entrance of the building as you go inside. And the most striking experience about the Meditation Museum is, even though it's on the busy Georgia Avenue Road, when you step inside, it gets quiet. It's the little bookstore and the meditation cafes right there, when folks would want to come and do a little bit of work inside and hang out by the cafe. We used to have cupcakes, maybe tea, water, depends. This is one of my favorite exhibits, the Being One exhibit, which is actually a project that was done by the Brahma Kumaris a few years back. I think what I love the most about this is that all religions and faith are included. And a lot of these pieces are antiques, collections. They were offered to the museum as a gift. I love that one from Mecca. It was from the Iraqi embassy right before it closed down. In this room, when you come in, you kind of take off your shoes, and then there are some accolades and awards and proclamations that cover the walls. And my favorite exhibit is the soul awareness, body awareness. And I think what happens when visitors come in, it gives them some time to really recognize the energy that they've come into. And this is Baba's room, where you can just relax, find your stillness. You see the light, in which God is light. Remember what Amanda said in the inauguration, the greatest bravery we need is to believe in the light, but is to also be the light, to have the courage to be the light. So Baba continues to teach us how to be the light. The 8 powers, we've done workshops on that, remember? We've done so many workshops on how to utilize the powers so they can work better in our relationships, with our situations, our choices, the decisions that we have to make. I want to thank Brother David for, putting all the art pieces and stuff together with so much love. That, he just puts it together with so much love and accuracy and clarity, that we have a chance to make the space so pretty. Every time I would step into the meditation museum, I would feel like it was my first time. This exhibit is called the 5 Forms, 5 stages of consciousness, from the point of light to becoming a deity, to be worthy of worship, to becoming a Brahmin in meditation, and then becoming an angel. And this is the cycle of time, golden, silver, copper, iron, that we all go through the change, and that life moves cyclically, not linearly. So to ask yourself, where are you now in the journey of life? This is my favorite. Ever since I was 17 years old, when my mother and stepfather, Sister Geeta and Brother Ed, became BKs, and they brought that picture of the 3 worlds in the house, that was the picture I took everywhere with me. I would put it at my door. I would remember that I'm on the physical world stage performing my karmas, but that God is in the world of light, and I have to keep remembering that I have to pull the energy of love in me, because I forget in the world of karma. And the five senses that symbolizes the fact that we all gain our experiences through the five senses. And yeah, how we use our five senses determines a lot in how the soul feels about itself. But the space has done, before we locked down, I think in 2019, the space organized over 300 events. Can you believe that? And I remembered when Brother David put that stage together and the backdrop of the stage. It was a whole production. And Santosh just loves his lighting. So he would just love the lighting that he would do. And I guess from here now, we will journey to Virginia, and that's where the other meditation museum is. I heard the Menco has closed in Tysons, and so they've been around for 30 years, but they just couldn't continue. So the entrance here, which is right next to my florist, right? Yeah, my florist. Wonderful neighbors, the best neighbors, my florist. Sometimes they would just leave bouquets of flowers in the museum because we all trusted each other. So they would go into the museum and use the spare key, and we would come in and see extra poinsettias or bouquets of flowers. I mean, that's the way we need to live, right? That was a gift of a painting done by one of our students' mothers, Alkaben, from India. And that's us here with the House of Representatives that has us in their congressional record for our work. And some stories, that's definitely not all of them, but that's just some. It's one of the many projects we've done, Dancing for Peace. I loved that event. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Envision a City of Values Day, 2004. Can you believe that? That was 17 years ago. We had values put up all over Washington, D.C., which came from various countries around the world. Such a beautiful thing. So this is the reception area at the entrance. And there you'd see Antonia, Santosh, Aditi, Devi, Suja, whoever. And those beautiful little stones that Geet would do as her contribution to the museum. She wasn't working, and she would say, well, at least I can do these design artwork and stones and donate these to the museums so that money can come in to keep the museums going. And I just was just so touched by her level of generosity. And she's a physician, came from India but couldn't work. She would have to go back to study again for another 6 years. So Tree of Blessings, one of the other projects that we've done, and I love that part. And that's a sculpture that was done by sculpturist Clara Sever. That's an original piece of Dadi Prakashmani, my spiritual mentor. And Clara did that so beautifully. Again, as you know, the three worlds, one of the most important images I feel for us in meditation. And this is the room that I designed specially. It was like Baba's room, Baba's hut. And this is where I would meet anyone that had any problems or issues that they just wanted to speak privately and just feel comfortable to even first talk to Baba before they would talk to me. And many times when they would talk to Baba first, they felt great. So Baba's hut was always known as the hut where your sorrows would be removed. And then we have, I think, Baba's room, right? And this is the Tysons section and the Tysons classroom. We've had lots of nice programs here too. This is like the baby to Silver Spring. So thanks for taking this nostalgic tour with me through the meditation museums. Did you all like that? Was that sweet? And then we'd have some times when Happy would be running around the space and just so happy. And so, did you all like that? It gave you a feeling of just being there again, and just being into the space and just feeling the quietude and the silence that used to be there. I think we're going to start to maybe just go there a few days a week and just sit in meditation. The only thing is in the daytimes now, because there's so many different meetings, sometimes we just don't have the time to even get away now. Such an interesting time. Okay, so today's about learning to relax when things are stressful, out of hand. How do you find peace and quietude inside of the soul? Well, why don't we try a little meditation for that? See if we can direct our thoughts inwards and just, settle inside. To relax means to stop trying to rush ahead of yourself or regret what happened in your past. In essence, if you want to relax, stop trying to run ahead of yourself and stop regretting your past and thinking or wishing it should have been different. It shouldn't have been different. It's perfect as it is. It's what it's supposed to be. So let's take a deep breath and go into some deeper introspection and moment of solitude. Breathe in deeply.
My thoughts focus in the center of my forehead. I journey into my own inner world. I discover a whole world within my own being. I am the eternal being of light. And within myself, I have the capacity to choose whichever type of thought I want to create. For a few moments, I want to direct my thoughts into the consciousness of eternity, the awareness of truth. Who am I? I know that this body was created at a specific time. It has a beginning. It has a fixed lifespan. And so, at some point of time, later or sooner, the time span will run out and this body will finish. But I, the being of light, am eternal. I existed before this body was shaped, and I will continue to exist after this body finishes. exist beyond the limits of time and space. I, being of light, have a form that is infinitesimal, just a point. Everything contained within a point. I, the point of light, am immortal. In this awareness of eternity, of going beyond the limits of time and distance, I'm able to have a glimpse of truth, that which is reality, that which is unchangeable, that which is the constant anchor of the universe. I stay in this awareness of I, the being of light, and touch truth itself.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So blessed. So grateful. And every day I start my day by saying how I'm grateful. Grateful. I'm so grateful. Every day I say grateful. When I go to sleep at night, I just say that I am grateful.
Such a beautiful song, huh? Karen Drucker. I'm so grateful. There's so much gratitude, gratitude above me, gratitude below me. And whenever we are really serving those pure feelings and good wishes inside of the soul, there's relaxation. Now, there are a variety of ways that we choose to relax. Some of us go to the ocean shore. Some of us go into a quiet room or a quiet space. Some of us go on a vacation. Some of us go to a retreat. Some of us go to the nature, to the park. Some of us go to a pool. Sometimes finding a good book and sinking into that is a form of relaxing. But what does it really mean to relax? And why is it that some of us have to actually learn to relax? What if some of us are just wired as a result of our karmic legacy to just be inspired to keep going, and is somebody who connects their dots and somebody who seems to be doing what they're called to do, and you can see the joy and the clarity in them. Isn't that a form of relaxing? Because there isn't a lot of chaos. I have seen and met people who physically don't do much, but they can get really upset really fast. Or, they can seem to be a little bit off keel at times. Sometimes too much relaxation can become a burden, and sometimes too much work and activity can become a burden. And it goes back to something we've been talking a lot about, is just balance. Finding the balance with the inner dimension of your being, with what is also the call of the time outside of us. That if we can somehow bring the right level of thinking and consciousness and energy into the actions that the universe and the drama has been prescribed for us to perform, and we do it with full heart, full heart, it's a form of relaxation, believe it or not. When we really choose to look for that vacation or that good book, or go by the pool, or go by the beach, or go to the park, to have your downtime, what are you actually asking for? Aren't you asking for your thoughts to stop running? Aren't you asking for your thoughts to stop regretting what you couldn't change? Aren't you asking for your thoughts to stop trying to force the future to become present? And aren't you basically just saying that I'm willing to honor the present and just be present? Just be. So when we're relaxing, we're actually allowing the soul to come to this place of acceptance. I accept where I am. I accept the state of my being. But I'm also open for change, and I'm open for growth. I have to tell you the story today. So today I was doing some messages and working on some accounting and responding to meeting calls and stuff. And I was on a Zoom, another Zoom meeting with our evolutionary leaders, and Sister Gita kept coming into the room, right? And I could see in her face, like, I want to fulfill her needs. But every 10 minutes she would say, Jen, just take me now. Just take me now. Trust me, trust me. If I take you, if you just take me, I tell you, it's going to be good for us. And I said, but sister, I just can't pick up and go right now. She goes, okay, well, give me the key to the RV. I'll go in the RV and wait. But let's just go, Jen. We have to go. Why don't you do this for me? I go, She might be forgetting a lot of things, but she don't forget how to try to manipulate me. It's just so interesting. It's just so amazing. So I'm on the meeting, and she kept coming in, and I was actually observing where I was inside. And can I tell you, everyone, I was so compassionate. And I would look up at her like this and say, honey, I can't take you now. We have to plan. Please note, where she wants me to take her is Miami, Florida. I might have remissed and not told you this. And I'm like, I just can't pick up and take it. Look, we'll find a place and we'll go for a week, but just give me some time. But Jen, I've been asking you to take me there and you're not taking me. I would do this for you, And I go, I'm sure you would, but I really don't think that I would tell you to drop everything you're doing just to take me to Miami. You think I don't want to wake up and look at the Atlantic Ocean as much as you might want to? But I just can't. And she looked at me with the saddest face, and her face was so drawn in. And I turned to her, and I touched her hand, everyone. And I just says, don't put yourself through this. Just don't put yourself through this. I promise I'll take you. Just give me some time. I just need to get a few things together, okay? No, just take me now. I'm telling you, it'll be good for you. And I was so relaxed. Now, keep in mind, I'm on my meeting on Zoom, in which I had to open up with all of these evolutionary leaders for the meditation, and I'm not sure what they thought, but thank God I had just a laptop with me today, and I could press the mute button, and I would just like, it's okay, I'm going to be there, just give me a few minutes. The long story of my sharing with you is that I was so relaxed inside that I didn't need to force myself to be somewhere for her. And I wasn't regretting what perhaps I would want from a meditation instrument that I've known for so many years, or for someone who has played the role of my mother for so many years. I wasn't in that mode of regret. Now, this is not to say that I have not had days when I've thought to myself, it would be so great if I'd had this family, this background, this experience, this reality, but I didn't. My mother was always theatrical, creative, unique on her own, in her own world, and my father, he was in his world, very quiet guy, and they were separated, they didn't live together, so I had to go back and forth to these two different homes, and my dad was so quiet, and my mother was not. My dad was so noble, and my mother was trying, and it was just a very interesting scene. So I've had those times when I didn't feel relaxed in my spirit because I wanted something else. So the point that I'm making is that sometimes we move away from a natural gift that's given to us of relaxation. Look at babies, they're always relaxed except when they want to eat. They cry and they tell you. Or if they need to change their pampers or their panty, they says cry and they'll let you know. But for adults, as we grow older, we start to think about what we don't have or shouldn't have or didn't. And that takes away your power to relax into what you do and what you're grateful for and what's yours. And as much as we all seek change, and we all seek the more of life in a better way, we must also accept that wherever our energy is inside of us, the soul, inside of I, the soul, that whatever energy that does exist in me, that I am completely responsible for the reality. And whether we want to accept that or not will determine your level of relaxation. The moment you accept that your energy has created what you now have in your life as your reality, the quicker you can relax. And you know what, everyone? When you go into the mode of relaxation, your greatest answers come from that place. Believe me, your greatest creativity comes from that place. And things just pop open for you because you're just so present and in the moment that Baba, God's light, your karmic story, they come together. That's what I say: when silence and wisdom comes together, you gain an experience. And something goes pop, and you just open up. So relaxation is a really, really, really important experience. They say, like, when you take a shower, you're relaxing, you get your best ideas. I know I do. My morning meditations in the early morning hours when I'm fully relaxed, best ideas, best ideas. If I'm looking through the window, I'm going for a walk, and my mind is free, best ideas. The more you relax, the best ideas will come up inside of you. The wellness of where you're supposed to go, the vision of your future will be clear, and you will begin to experience the thoughts that need to accompany your vision. So I hope I'm making sense here for you, because relaxation for me takes a whole different perspective. It's not just going by the beach. It's not just going to the park. It's not just being in a quiet room. It's not just sinking into a good book. Yes, that is a good form of relaxation. But you might be missing many, many, many priceless moments during the day when you are just really in that zone. Relaxation when you're cooking your favorite meal, or you cook a meal that you cook all the time that is so easy for you, and something in your head space is percolating and it's just going, yeah, that's what I should do. Always write down your best ideas when it comes out of a mode of relaxation. They are significant. The other day we were talking about my emergence of the last few months of just feeling this nostalgic need to be back in India. Now keep in mind, I've been to 95 countries. It wasn't really my favorite country to visit, even though I'm half Indian. But for the last few months, it's just been this call, like this feeling like I'm missing home, I'm missing it. And what's interesting about this experience that I'm going through, I was percolating the idea the other day, like, you know, a lot of times we think we know ourselves, but we don't really know what the future holds, or what new experiences are trying to be birthed in us to create a narrative that is a part of your continued journey. If there's too much stuff in your head and none of them really makes sense, you're not really connecting the dots, you're just all over the place, it's not relaxation, you know? But when you're like connecting the dots and certain feelings and emotions start to approach your consciousness, it's significant. So we've been wanting to do this special segment on America Meditating Radio, where I interview a lot of Indians from different walks of life, in particular those who are making a difference in the world. And I want to call the session Jamdu, you know, half Jamaican, half Indian, like Ladu, but we have this mixture. And it's been so interesting how this energy of wanting to be back in India has been a big call. Now, I've never lived in India in this birth, but in past births I have. But in this birth I have never lived in India. I've visited India. I've stayed there for a few months. I've come and go. I used to go twice a year, 1 week, 2 weeks. I'm in India and I come back, okay? And now I'm like, I need to wake up. I need to smell the air. I need to see it, the water. I need to be with the people. And I know all of that is coming from something of my past. I just know it. And so a lot of us think we really know ourselves, but when you relax into yourself, perhaps what the pandemic is doing for all of us is to really relax and to see who you are and sort out some of the issues that are still pending, that requires your attention, that requires your love, that requires your light. And relaxation will shed light in areas that need it the most. So just recently, Santosh, remember I did a New Year's Eve program with Kanupriya, who was a Bollywood actress. I don't know if you remember the show. And Kanupriya used to be the host for the popular Awakening with Brahma Kumaris with our popular BK, Sister Shivani from India. And Kanupriya and I have stayed together, and I just wanted to open the year with this relationship between India and America, the East and the West, And from there, somebody saw that podcast and that show, and they contacted us to get our podcast on their Indian stations. So then Santosh now went the step further, and now we're on Geo 7, which is a major Indian podcast publisher. And then we have these different things that have been opening up with India. The Om Shanti album will be released on February 14th. And Ricky Cage's public relations company is helping to get that going and moving that along. Again, another link to India again. And of course, the Brahma Kumaris are all over India, so that's there. But even also friends from India have been calling in and talking, and I just saying, now it's just opening up again. Like, there's something I'm supposed to do in or for India. I don't know what it is. I'm not quite sure how it's going to unfold, but I know the more I relax into it, the vision will become so clear that the universe, the drama will show I, the soul, and everyone who's connected to me, what will be our seva, what will be our service for India, and how that will open up a connection to God, a connection to soul, a connection to the deity culture, a connection to truth, a connection to power, to purity, to light. I don't know. But when you do relax in yourself, you see so many things that you've been missing. So recommendation tonight, before you turn in, stop running ahead of yourself. And stop regretting what you don't have, or what you should have had, or what you should have done. Accept everything that's going on in your life and see it for what it is. It might not be what you declare is the best for you, and it might not be the worst either. But then in that space of relaxing into the acceptance of where you are, listen deeply, and ask Baba, Baba, where do you want me to go? What's next? Show me. And in that energy of relaxation, Baba will give you the right thought, the right direction, the right guidance, the right signal. The importance of relaxation will give you the freedom and the truth that you're searching for. Okay? All right, so thank you so much for joining us today, and I want to give a shout out to our beautiful family and tribe that's out there. To each and every one of you, may you always thrive to be your very best, not because you're comparing yourself to anyone else, but because you turn to God with love, and God's love is showing you where your best is. May you always value the power of your purity and your goodness and your peace, even if the world doesn't see it, promote it, or advertises it. Trust in it, knowing that it's the purity in your heart that will be your liberation. And to always, always remember, the universe, the drama, will always give you a second chance to do it a little bit better, because the universe and the destiny knows you have what it takes. Thanks for joining us on the next normal. Know that we love you very, very deeply, and we send you so much of our love and light. And just keep believing in yourself and relaxing in that belief, knowing that Baba's got your back. Just be more with Baba and watch the magic. Lots of love. Take care. Good night. Sweet dreams. Om Shanti. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful.